Have you ever wondered what happens when a narcissist loses control? It's a phenomenon that can be as fascinating as it is unnerving. You see, control is the lifeblood of a narcissist. It's what fuels their sense of superiority, their illusion of invincibility. They thrive on manipulating others, bending them to their will, and steering their lives like puppet masters. They demand that things be done their way, dismissing any alternate perspectives or possibilities as inconsequential. But what happens when this power is challenged, when the puppet severs its strings? It may sound like a risky proposition, and it is. Yet, it's a necessary step for those looking to break free from the grip of a narcissist. It's all about demonstrating that they cannot dominate you, that you're not a pawn in their twisted game, but a player with your own set of moves. Now, this doesn't mean you have to get into a direct confrontation or a power struggle. That's exactly what they want. It's about challenging their authority subtly on matters that may seem trivial but are significant enough to send a clear message. It could be as simple as choosing a different restaurant than the one they suggested, or deciding to spend your weekend in a way that they didn't plan. This act of defiance, no matter how small, shakes their perceived control. It's a reminder that you're not an extension of them, but an individual with your own thoughts, desires, and decisions. It's an assertion of your autonomy, a declaration that you're not merely surviving under their control, but thriving despite it. Remember, you are the one in charge of your life and decisions. They may try to steer your course, but only you hold the compass. Only you determine your direction. So every time you feel their grip tightening, remind yourself and them that you're the captain of your ship and no one else. When a narcissist loses control, they lose their power. And when they lose their power, they lose their hold over you. That's the first step towards reclaiming your freedom, towards escaping their toxic influence. So don't be afraid to take that step. Don't be afraid to lose control. Did you know a narcissist craves validation and admiration so much that not having these can drive them insane? That's right. Narcissists are like performers on a stage. They thrive in the spotlight and require attention as much as a normal person requires air. They demand to be the center of your world, your sun, your moon, and all your stars. They need to feel that they are the most important person in your life and that no one else matters as much. But what happens when they are no longer the center of your universe? What happens when someone else, anyone else, becomes your focus? Well, that's when a narcissist starts feeling threatened. Their world begins to shake because they no longer have control over you. Their source of validation and admiration is slipping away from them, and they don't know how to handle it. Imagine a child who has always been the star of the show suddenly being upstaged by a new performer. That's what a narcissist feels like when they are not the center of attention. They feel invisible, unimportant, and insignificant. Their ego takes a hit, and they start spiraling into a state of frustration and insecurity. They might react in different ways. Some might throw tantrums. Others might resort to manipulation, while some might even try to sabotage your relationship with the new person. But one thing is for sure, a narcissist cannot stand not being the center of attention. What happens when a narcissist is confronted about their actions? Let's find out. In an ideal world, we'd all be able to follow our hearts without facing any backlash or criticism. But in reality, we are held accountable for our actions and have to face the consequences. But narcissists, they live in their own world where they expect to be exempt from this universal rule. This expectation stems from a profound lack of empathy, a cornerstone characteristic of narcissism. They won't feel a shred of guilt for breaking your heart or causing you pain. In fact, they might even be taken aback if you dare to call them out on their actions. But here's the thing. Merely talking about their actions won't cut the mustard. They'll dismiss it as nagging or ranting, and it won't have the impact you desire. Instead, a more effective approach is to refuse to give them another chance. Make it clear that your behavior is a direct response to their actions, not an arbitrary decision. Narcissists live under the delusion of superiority, believing they're above everyone else. So when you stand up to them, look them in the eye and tell them you're aware of their manipulations and won't tolerate it any longer. They're left dumbfounded. This confrontation and refusal to play by their rules is a direct hit to their inflated ego. Telling a narcissist directly that you know what they're doing and won't tolerate it can be a real shock to them. Did you know that other people's happiness can drive a narcissist crazy? Let's explore this further. You see, it's not only pain and suffering that narcissists are disconnected from. Their lack of empathy extends far beyond that. They are unable to feel genuine happiness for others. It's as though they live in a world where joy and celebration are foreign concepts, only understood when they are the source or the recipient. Imagine a world where you see a loved one smiling, laughing, and you feel threatened. This is the reality for a narcissist. They see happiness, especially when it's not about them or because of them, as a threat and affront. They may even go as far as to sabotage these moments, unable to tolerate the light that shines from genuine joy. Now consider the situation where the victim of a narcissist is experiencing happiness. This could be a personal achievement, a new friendship, or simply a good day. To a narcissist, this is not only a threat, it's an outrage. The thought that their victim, their possession, can experience joy without their involvement is deeply infuriating. The narcissist's world revolves around them. They are the sun, and everyone else is merely a planet in their orbit. So when a planet starts shining on its own, the narcissist feels their position as the center of the universe threatened. They may react with anger, resentment, or attempts to undermine this newfound joy. But why does this happen? It's because narcissists believe they are the superior beings. They should be the ones to bestow happiness, not receive it secondhand. When their victim finds happiness outside of them, it challenges this grandiose self-image. And that is something a narcissist cannot bear. So yes, your happiness, especially when it's independent of the narcissist, can indeed drive them crazy. But remember, it's not about causing them distress. It's about finding your own joy, your own power, even in the face of their resentment. It's about understanding that your happiness is yours, and no one has the right to take it away from you. A narcissist despises when their victim experiences joy, especially when it